Kind of like how every And we're back. Welcome back to Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction on the Games Tavern here on YouTube. Hey, so glad to have all of you guys out there watching us today. And it's so good to be back with all of you guys as players and stuff like that. I'm so excited to see all of you again. And hopefully you live through the day. So let's get right to it. No. So what do we got here for announcements? Oh, yeah, wait a minute. If this is your first time watching us, or even if you have been watching us and you haven't hit that subscribe button, now's the time to do it. It's free and it helps support the cast and the crew. Please hit that subscribe button and hit some likes too. You can check us out normally on Thursdays around 7 p.m. Eastern every week, except for those time periods where we just can't because of scheduling conflicts. So anyway, most Thursdays. And from there, it's on YouTube. And you can check us out. All right. So I've gotten that beaten half to death. Mike is usually so much better at announcements than I am. But what else do we have? I thought we were talking about merch today. No, you guys didn't.
We can do it on the fly, though. We can talk about our merch.
That's okay. If I could just get the Tech Goblin to put the link in for merch for me. Here's the great news. We have updated the merch for the Games Tavern. It's got some extra hoodies because that crisp fall weather is here and some of that winter weather is hitting. So you'll get some warm, cozy stuff along with beanies and a couple other cool things so you can show your support for the show and look pretty cool because let's face it, our icons are pretty darn cool. And then some things are no longer available. But as you guys watch, you basically will see that things come out sometimes, and sometimes they're limited run, and sometimes they're not. So get them while you still can. The current batch of hoodies and stuff are going away after this winter, and we'll probably have a completely new type of hoodie and everything else in the new year. So, in the meantime, what else do we got going on here? That's it for stuff right now. I think during the break we'll have the rest of the announcements. So, all right. Where we last left off, if I could get some ambiance, jungle ambiance, no animals. The party had come out of their tent that's bigger on the inside, stepped out, and realized something was amiss. They were promptly attacked by a phase spider or two, and are still in process of dealing with that after having slayed at least one, Vale and Cimarine. Cimarine immediately recognizing them for what they are, because they are from where she's from. Mystery of mysteries. At this point, the breeze blows through the jungle, and the party is still standing, figuring out what to do next. Initiative is still rolled.
There's at least one more out there. I heard it chittering.
There's another one?
At least one.
Are you guys positioned roughly where you think you'd be if you had just walked out of the tent, Vale being the furthest from the tent and Turja being the closest to the tent?
Right.
Yeah.
The tent is north. Okay.
Forget, did I activate the drift globe? I think we might be awash in light out here.
You are.
Yeah.
So if I recall correctly, let's see here. Rafe had just gone. Oh, no, Sim had just gone. And we're back to Vale. Vale, what are you doing? Can I get the combat music, please? There we go.
If I don't see the other spider out there, then I will go for an active perception check, scanning the surroundings, moving the drift globe a little bit as I do a 360 to try and catch the light of the spider.
Maybe we scared it off.
Okay.
Yeah. Active force then.
All right. You take a good strong look around. You don't see anything.
Strong roll there.
He forgot to put his glasses on. It's fine.
It's late.
You can see outlines.
Okay. Turja, what are you doing?
I am holding my crossbow at the ready, just sort of scanning the jungle and waiting for the other spider to pop out or just anything to pop out.
Okay.
And then if I'm holding action, if I see a spider or anything else pop out of the jungle, I'm going to shoot at it.
With your crossbow, right?
Yes.
Like crossbow? Okay. Okay, and Luciano, what are you doing?
Might just that I'm gonna cower and just okay guys, I think we can go back to the tent now. Come on. I'm looking around to nothing but unknown jungle and I'm scared out of my mind now.
Okay.
We can come back inside, guys. We can go back.
All right. You hear a strange crack sound. And with that, the appearance of a spider right by Rafe as it moves into attack.
Can I go like pale white, like look at him and be like, ah, ah.
Do I get to take a shot at him now because I was holding my action?
Yeah, take a shot.
Let's see.
Currently
Wait,
AC
look at me.
14 read, since I know what your next question is going to be.
Look at me, Rafe.
17 to hit.
17 does hit.
And do I get sneak attack since it's next to Rafe?
I'll give it to you, but actually, you're using this as a hold action.
I mean, he's next to Rafe. That qualifies.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
27 damage.
Okay. A very good hit indeed. The spider hobbled for a moment, then bites down on Rafe. 23 hits you, so at that point, Rafe, 5 points of piercing damage. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, Rafe.
Okay, Constitution.
Where spider? Where spider?
18.
Okay. You feel white hotness as the bite hits you, but it's something you shrug off. It is now your turn. What are you doing? Rafe.
I think I am going to. Well, actually, I'm going to disengage and move towards the more heavily armored people.
You have disengage as an action? That's what you're
Yeah, I'm
doing?
going to disengage as an action and then move.
Okay. A slightly hurt Rafe steps away and decides that's not a good idea.
Yep.
All
And
right.
I am not going to use a bonus action here for anything. That is my turn.
Okay. You hear a crack right behind you, Urja, as another phase spider right behind you. Does a 7 hit you? You
No.
are very lucky today. Dodging out of the way rapidly, you manage to dodge the bite. However, it is all on top of you. Cimarine, Cimarine, it's your move. What are you gonna do?
All right. I think in this case, since there's at least 2 of them, I think first and foremost we need to rage. Get that bad mamma jamma rolling and growing.
Okay.
And then we're going to go ahead and move forward and try to hit that spider
Okay.
with my sword. Well, technically the borrowed sword. But we're going to go ahead and roll to hit.
Okay.
Gosh, oh no, it's been a minute. Gain a
17
+2.
hits.
+2. Sorry, so I'm wondering what my bonuses were, so it's actually a 19.
You hit well in hand.
Okay.
These spiders are used to having the upper hand.
Gotcha. Well then damage would be 6 slashing plus 2 from the rage, so it's 8 slashing plus my dreadful strike, which is going to be an additional D4 psychic damage.
So you did 6 points plus another D4. Up, doesn't matter. How do you want to do this?
Okay, cool. Smote it. Just straight up over the head, screaming. Didn't like it. It was mean, and it needed to go. So it is just completely obliterated.
So you stake the spider to the jungle floor.
Yeah.
Okay, so you watch its legs go, and for a brief moment it like fades in and out, and then it's back and dies right there.
Can I use the rest of my movement to move towards the other one?
You sure can.
Go ahead, another. That's another 10. Boop. Let's go.
Watching a very ragey sim shred a spider and move forward immediately toward the next one. Vale, what are you doing?
I start moving towards the other spider, but I look at Wraith. You good? I wait for acknowledgement.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. And I've got the 35 movement here, enough to get up here. And the glaive, I'm going to reach out and touch a friend. And rolling to hit. 23 to
23
hit.
hits.
For 11 magical slashing, still up, and I'll bap it with again. For a little bit more. Waiting for it. 12 magical slashing.
Another 12.
Slash. Quick. Very, very quick movement.
Oh, it's cut deep, but it is still very, very in the fight.
Lucy, stay near me. And that's my turn.
At this point, Lucy's like fallen on the ground, like kind of backwards. He's like, yeah.
Turgia just rolled out of the way of this thing biting at her. Turgia, it's your move.
I use my bonus action to disengage slightly and move back. And
What is
then I
disengage
take a shot
slightly?
At it with my crossbow. Dirty 12.
All right. I'm not seeing that. It's delayed on my end here. Okay, so you got a dirty 20?
Hey,
It is.
sorry.
That's all right. So it definitely hits. Roll for damage.
Okay. I assume nobody's close enough for me to get sneak attack.
Nope.
Worth a try.
I'm trying to get away from
8 points piercing damage.
How do you want to do this?
It lands in one of its myriad eyes and just sort of shudders for a second and then collapses over on its side.
Okay. And you see that happen, and it fades in and out briefly, and then it's back in reality.
What does their blood smell like? Or is it ichor?
It's ichor. And it's not heavily scented. Now, the cuts from where Cimmerian, or not Cimmerian, but where your glaive went through, there's some smells, but it's like the smell of innards because of where you got it.
Gotcha.
And with that, the jungle goes quiet once again.
Lucy like very quickly picks himself up, kind of brushes himself off, pushes his hair back. He's just like looking around. He's like, "That's it, right?" And I'm looking at Vale. Like, there's no more, right?
I only heard 2. I look around at the 3.
And the fact that you only heard 2 makes me even like more scared. Lucy's just, okay, whoa.
I reach out my hand and have the drift globe come back and put it underneath my cloak.
At that point, the jungle goes dark again, and your eyes, the non-elfin versions of you, struggle to have your eyes readjust. But eventually, you can see the dim light from the flap of the tent, which is strangely shifting.
Where's our buddy? Where's our tabaxi friend?
Art?
Back and forth. Back and forth.
Not out of my rage yet.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna go ahead and approach the flap and maybe not swing the sword, but like swing my arm wildly, trying to see if it's like anything affecting the flap, if it's just wind.
The flap is not moving back and forth.
Gotcha.
The light is flickering back and forth.
Then
like
inside, I'll just charge inside. Why not?
You charge inside and you see Bart over another spider.
Oh.
Killed, but he had just finished killing it. And it's dead. It's another phase spider. It's, take that. How's everyone faring outside?
One of us got bit, I think. Rive, are you okay?
Oh, yes, I'm fine. Just a little bit punctured.
Small puncture.
I was heading out with you, and this thing tackled me as I came through the door.
Well, that would be number 4.
It appears we have camped near a nest of phase spiders.
Perhaps we want to move?
I don't think I have ever seen quite this many. They are rare in these jungles.
Lucy is
Typically, you only
clutching,
see like
just like
2.
Are they good eating? Are they like land crab? Can you cook them?
They are considered verboten. We do not eat them. They are not something we would eat, even if they did taste good.
If you attempt to eat them, how do you know they taste bad?
We don't.
Oh.
But we do use them. Like, their parts are great for various different materials. Things like cloaks of various kinds, and people pay for parts of them occasionally handsomely.
Need a hand, Sin?
It'll work.
Go to town, breaking them down?
Yeah. I'm like really good at this.
This is the ranger equivalent of loot the body, yes?
Yeah, do you want me to do like a survival or something to see how well we can butcher this?
So, of the spiders that are out there, and you drag the 4th one out, I'm certain you're not going to leave this nastiness inside the tent. 2 of them were stabbed in such a way that you can pull the rest of it apart enough to where you have a lot of skin and stuff to make the cloak from the abdominal piece. One of which Vale's glaive sliced and diced so much that you're not going to get much. All of which have fangs that you can use, and most of which have some legs here and there, some extra eyes you can pluck. He mentioned something about the mini-chambered hearts of these things, but in particular something at the base of the brain that wizards like to buy that helps with potions of etherealness.
Lucy is finding a way to go lose his lunch somewhere else.
So you step right back out and just blow out, right? You guys are watching Sim and Vale just work these things. It's like, this will make great, whatever it is they want to build from this. I could make a cloak of the spider here. I could make a phase cloak. I could just build curtains that, you can make disappear when you want. I could do all sorts of stuff with this. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but like, it's that kind of silliness. Like, what else could we do with it? What else? How about the fangs could be made daggers that just bypass armor and phase in and out? Yeah. I don't know. What's a wizard gonna do with it?
That's what I imagine.
Ooh, the eyes. You could see into the ethereal plane with them, maybe. We could do some glasses with the lenses or something. I don't know, man. The sky's the limit. What's this brain part for? Oh, it is something the wizards do. They make the potions. I don't know how to do this. These shamans and wizards, they do it.
Back at the library, there was this drug going around that was rumored to have been created from some part of the phase spider. They would do lines of it and just trip all night long.
Like fun trips or scary trips?
Like see stuff that wasn't there.
I am betting that is stuff that is diluted from their poison and mixed with the brain, because then they would, be messed up and, of course, experience the etherealness at the same time.
Did you ever do it, Vale?
Did you need me to hand you anything to help in the rendering of the spider?
I was just curious about this drug thing for purely academic reasons. Just curious if you've ever done it or knew how to make it, or if information for information's sake.
Well, if you had something to try there, I could probably tell you if it was close to the effect.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, let's just poking at a dead body. What can get us a little tweaked?
All right, so I will give you 2 phase spider hides. I will give you let's see here, 8. I will give you 22 phase spider eyes. I will give you 2 phase spider brains, because the rest of the brains got skewered. Unfortunately, you guys did a great job. I will give you 8 phase spider fangs, and I will give you 2 phase spider poison glands. The rest of them, unfortunately, you guys ruptured on the way out, and you were careful not to be messed with by them, thankfully, but, in the case of being so careful, you accidentally ruptured the rest. So you have 2 phase spider poison glands.
And a partridge in the pear tree?
No, there's no partridges that you found on them. But that's plenty, actually, if you think about it. So.
No. Cool. I guess we probably could put this all in a bag of holding. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to put wet stuff into a bag of holding all on its own with everything else that's in there, I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
It's not my bag of holding.
Magic.
Perhaps you should preserve them in some way first.
All this work. Well, at least the fang should be able to be tossed in.
Yes.
Well, after we eat our rations, we can use the wrappers and stuff for some of the stuff.
That's the thinking. You can use some of those sacks. Okay. That was very productive.
I poke my head back in. Are you guys done?
I admire how fast you guys quickly work with the blade. Luciano, are you okay?
Yeah.
It looks like you
just looking around like, yeah, I'm good.
When we are cleaning up a little bit, I kind of turn to the side and give my arm a little bit of a lick to see what the spider tasted like.
What part are you licking?
Whatever gore and viscera got on my wrist.
Oh,
probably deep.
It tastes like ass. Like rotten ass. It is the most foul taste. There is nothing of value to that taste to you, except that you don't want to do it again.
Noted.
I mean, you don't really eat that much, but let's be honest, this is not
passing the phase spider. Barbecue's off.
Yeah. The nutritional value is pretty limited.
Okay. Now that we're done with that, trying to gain my composure back. What time of day was it? It
was night.
It was night.
Darkness had fallen, and you guys had just gotten into position.
I see.
Oh, yeah.
In the rendering down of the phase spider back there, I saw some parts that could possibly be used as lute strings. I bet if you were to use that, you could play something just out of this world.
I appreciate the thought. Maybe we can cross that bridge if a string breaks. I'm going to bed. And I'm very much trying to go around the outside of wherever this all took place, and I'm just kind of scooting by.
Come on, Lucy, don't you want a hug?
Is Sim covered in gore right now?
Most of the time say absolutely, but right now,
Come on, come on.
Sim is covered in gore right now. Yeah, just for the record.
Yes.
On
Sim
purpose.
has a smell now.
Phase spider, my favorite.
So, what do you think that this gut pile is going to attract in the jungle? What's the food chain bring?
I mean-
Carrion crawlers?
The bugs will be very active all night, so staying in the tent is probably a good idea for the bugs. I expect that the rats will be here soon.
Perhaps we
Jungle
ought to move
rats
the
are-
tent away a little bit, just so we're not right next to the gore pile and everything that's eating it.
I mean, if you wish to do this, yes, you can. How far do you wish to move?
Just a few hundred yards, I think. We don't need to be that far away, just far enough.
On the other hand, the smell will repel quite a few of the bigger things.
Fine.
There are very, very large creatures in the jungle here.
Like
we
what?
are not the top of the food chain.
What's like
Well,
the biggest?
Luciano's doing his best to cover his ears. He's trying oh no!
like, what's at the
Oh.
top?
At the top,
Yeah.
well, there is besides spiders, there are massive super fanged four-armed gorillas. There are also the giant lizards with teeth as long as knives.
Ooh, you had me at giant knives.
I mean, they can eat you in one bite.
Stab them from the inside. They're probably softer and not armored.
They work in packs.
All of this sounds really, really awful.
Yes. But the worst are the blue dragons. But we haven't seen any of those for... not in my lifetime. They are legendary, though.
Virgin mutters something like, with all luck, we'll probably be the first to see them again.
I certainly hope not.
Have you fought any of those, like, mutated dog people? Like, what do they look like? What do they do?
The dog people used to be very pleasant. I have not fought them yet, but I have heard stories from my fellow
Good boys.
tabaxis. We will be stopping at my village before we move on to resupply. But they will probably have some very good things to tell us, because apparently they've been making encroachments near our villages. A few villages have been completely wiped out. But the descriptions are angry, dog-faced creatures that wield axes, clubs, sharp implements. And they kill everything and they eat everything. And then they move on to the next.
I turn to Vale and I'm like, Vale, unlike the strength scale, like, vampires are above dragons, right? Right?
Well, I guess it depends on how many vampires there are. On a one-on-one, no. The dragon's going to win.
Okay.
But you could have, like, a whole horde of vampire spawn vampires.
Can you do that?
I can't. Because I'm not undead. Okay?
Okay, we got to okay. I heard dragon and I'm like scared out of my mind. I'm like, how do we fight a dragon? Hold on.
We don't fight dragon. We avoid dragon.
Avoid vampires, avoid dragons, avoid angry wizards in towers, and
Dogs.
Lucy, I
May
was reading a
suggest
book in the library.
avoiding the giant lizards too?
reasonable suggestion. Thank you, Bart.
Yes, yes.
It's a well-known fact that blue dragons, in particularly, their hordes often contain many bardic instruments of great power.
You hear that,
They just
Lucy?
Lutes, drums.
Come on, it's exciting. You could go get yourself a new instrument. It's like going to a store, but scarier.
I hate paying for them. I don't really want to fight for them.
Don't worry, I'll protect you from a blue dragon. I promise.
Okay, Lucy like takes like a okay, and then like really like looks at Sim and is like, oh god.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay. We managed to do it so far. We'll be fine. Just go take a sleep, have good dreams, and we'll try again tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, good idea. You know what? I like that idea. Just immediately covers his head.
You not got anything to help him sleep?
Once he's inside the tent, he'll be fine.
Like a little conk to the head, or?
Gentler, maybe.
I can put a sleep spell on you if it will help.
Can't sleep, sleep spell.
Hey.
Hey, can a sleep spell auto work if the person
If he
I
lets
cast it
it,
on
yes.
is willing?
Yeah,
okay.
if he lets it, yeah. Yeah, I'd let that work.
I'm doing a little origami and come up with my best approximation of a spider.
Okay, yeah.
And proceed to animate it via my cantrip. And send it over to Lucy's bed.
So a little palm-sized spider. Luciano's just about to sleep, and the first little leg like starts playing with his ear. Feels like something, tickling him. Then the second leg. The little paper fangs try to, effortlessly to bite at his ear.
And you just hear like Lucy just like literally in airborne. And
now,
just
do you stomp or swipe at it on the way down?
Oh,
way down?
I am doing everything I can to crush whatever it is.
You crush the paper,
probably.
no problem. Like, boom, but you're already up on your feet. And now, Luciano's never going to go to sleep again.
No, Luciano takes this and he immediately is like, I got one. I did that one.
You're so brave, Lucy. Wow.
There was a fifth one.
We should probably close the tent flaps.
I'm sure it's gonna help if they can phase, right? They can just like come in whenever.
Ooh, I don't think it works like that when you're going into extra dimensional spaces.
Fair
I'll
enough.
stand guard outside.
I'll stun watch as well.
Well, Vale can choose not to sleep.
Mm.
Is this why he knows about these drugs?
You have an uneventful rest of the evening. You guys wake up the next morning, you imbibe a little bit of rations to set your day up, pack up your tent and your gear, and make your way ready. You travel again in the next, 3 or 4 days. There's almost no activity. On the 5th day, can everybody roll a perception check for me real quick? $14, 7, 8.
I imagine Lucy is sunburnt, bug eaten.
Oh, yeah.
Is not having a good time.
Cimarine, Rafe, and Vale spot it, and it's only because they happen to be in the right spot when the shadow passed over, and they
I rolled a 13 too.
Roll a 13. Oh, I'm sorry. And Turja also sees it. Because as everyone else looks up, Turja also looks up instinctively and sees as a flying ship passes over.
Like the flying ship we saw out in the ocean?
But
The
not...
one with Mog Ra's buddy?
Well, I didn't say that. I didn't say it looked like that at all. I just said it was a flying ship. It's kind of hard to tell from the bottom. But it doesn't look like it was lobbing fireballs anytime soon. and the sail color appears and styling appears to be slightly different from the one that attacked you. But I don't. Was that a ship or was that the fortress that attacked you? It was the fortress.
Fortress that attacked that.
Yeah, I don't.
Can I?
recall you-
Well, maybe I wouldn't actually. Never mind. Are we
Seems-
there yet? What are we doing? Just swatting flies.
Oh, there are flies everywhere too. Yeah, they are strangely not interested in sim. Spider Icker pays off.
They're so sweet, Lucy. They just can't help themselves.
He's like so annoyed.
Are they bugging you, Luciano?
Ooh. I turn and glare.
Oh, poor Lucy. You sure you don't want any spider guts? I could probably spare some. 3 days later.
Yeah. Oh,
go-
I think I'm past it now.
You go another 2 days making camp with no issues. At the end of the second day, as you're going through the jungle, before you hit camp, you all need to make one more perception check.
Well, I'm glad someone's gonna see it.
And it's gonna be Luciano.
Sim
Sim.
and Luciano are the only two who spot this. But you see something glinting for a brief moment in the jungle, and you signal everybody to stop. I can see by the hand signals you're giving.
Yeah.
Everybody stops and freezes. Ooh, look! You guys are becoming jungle veterans. Check this out. And then you hear like arguing. I told you. I can sense them. They're around somewhere.
Wow, past fellow Trace is looking real
You
good.
said
right
they
about
owe us money because you're not the guy on the poster. Yeah, I know who sent you. There's one of them whose taint I can track. He's been around here somewhere. I owe him one. And that's when you see the flash of orange beard.
Garbage.
Well, you better find him, because we want vengeance, and damn this jungle and its stinkiness. And you see them continuing to walk along, but they go the opposite direction of the direction you're headed.
I thought he could track us by Luciano's taint.
Hold on
Not
now.
a perfect science.
Okay, just checking.
How far away would you say they are right now, Reed?
I would say they were about 400 or 500 feet moving the wrong way.
Okay.
It's the God Veil.
Do we want to avoid him or we'll take him out to a nice dinner?
He's going that way. I say we just keep going.
I give
I wanna
Vel
get out
the
of this
side
jungle.
eye and say, by nice dinner, do you mean where you go drink his blood?
Hey,
Are
you
you
said it, not
saying-
me.
Would
Are you
be a nice
saying
dinner.
that we have people following us?
No.
Yes, that is a paladin with a massive chip in his shoulder.
Well, I do not know what.
And
the
probably in his
paladin
tooth. He
is.
got beat up pretty bad.
And this chip on his shoulder, is it worth money?
Well, he may have an airship close by,
He has an air chip?
possibly.
Oh.
Yes.
Why do you think he has an airship?
An airship?
I'm pretty sure we saw that fly overhead, and then they got dropped off.
We could have flown over this jungle.
That is a very, very wealthy paladin, whatever a paladin is. I mean, we can leave a nice, welcoming surprise for him.
I'm a friendly sort. I wouldn't say no.
Can I see 3 of your arrows, please?
Yeah, I reach into the quiver and hand you 3.
All right, you guys move on ahead real quick. I'm going to place these. And you see him place them in different places, but facing the direction opposite of the direction of your travel. You see him do a couple of different movements and touch each one. You see him pull out a coil of rope and set it up and does something. He does another little thing with that, and you see the rope disappear. Well, they will have a nice surprise when they come through.
I look very confused. Like, okay.
Yes. Hey, do you have a Luciano? Do you have a washcloth or a rag or a bandana, a handkerchief?
I mean, kind of dig through my bag, just try to find I don't know. Oh, there's something in my disguise kit, but
No. I need something like that you've used to wipe your brow, you know. Something with your stink on it.
Your pillowcase.
Yeah, Lucy, your stink. Where is it?
Your underwear. Give him your underwear.
That is perfect, actually.
no. And I kind of, what is wrong with you? And I kind of throw in my just like an old cloth that I have that I keep in my pocket to
Perfect. Come here.
wipe the dirt off my face.
Come here. Don't argue. Lift your hands out like this, please.
He's gonna punch
That's
you.
right. Make a T. And he immediately takes it and puts it underneath both your arms. Yes. The time for you to be sensitive is over. Here. He places it gingerly in a spot that might be close to where he put the rope. And just leave it there. Now, we must make haste.
What's going to happen?
Fake.
Right now, we make haste. Later, we discuss what's going to happen.
Fake. Come on.
Shall we?
You seem trustworthy. Let's go.
I mean, we don't want to stay here and find them. Yes?
Probably not. No. All right, let's get going.
Okay. So you guys immediately start busting brush, going through, and he gets you down to a river.
As we walk, I wanted to turn to Sim and just ask, so is this like the forest that you're from? Did they mention Ardeep? Is this?
Oh, that forest. No, different. Not as familiar. Actually, I think I've spent more time here at this point than the Ardeep forest. I'm not. You move around a lot, that kind of thing.
Okay, you seemed familiar with some of the creatures. I figured maybe it was kind of like what you're used to.
Okay, well that's different. That's the other forest that I've been from. Whatever. I mean, yeah. Do you not know much about face spiders? Is that not like common knowledge?
I didn't spend a lot of time outside the city.
I can't.
So none of
tell.
this is common knowledge to me.
You are wearing nature super well, though.
And I kind of look down. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Like, if anyone can wear it this well, it's definitely you. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. And I kind of like, yeah.
Sim gives bardic inspiration to Lucy.
Yeah. Immediately to my head. Oh, okay.
As you continue on, he starts leading you down a trail that kind of goes down a ravine towards a flowing river that goes the opposite direction of the direction you're walking. But it is a beautiful river nonetheless. The water is clean, it is clear, and he tells you, you can wash at the edge here, but not wash at the edge after we leave here, until I tell you to.
Water monsters?
There is a series of fish called quipper rippers. They will remove all the flesh off of a thunder lizard in about 3 minutes flat.
Delightful.
charming.
Yes, well, they're not always around, but better safe than sorry, yes?
Indeed.
Yes. There are safe places to cross, just don't fall in. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The river
Got
is
it.
your friend until it's not, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And he starts leading you down or upriver, right? And it's through a series of ravines and other trails. You guys do find some spots that are reserved for camping. You could tell these pathways are definite pathways and trails, but they're masked. And the campsites, they've definitely been used, but there's no fire pits. There's none of that you're used to in Faerun. Here, it's quieter, right? The camping spots are almost masked. It's like he moves a few branches and the leaves give way and there's the spot. And then when he leaves, he puts it all back.
Why are these camping spots so well hidden?
Well, you don't want to let people know that we are here. Half of survival in the jungle is security through obscurity, if you will. It is a lovely rhyme I learned from the Faerunians, you know, if you will.
Catchy.
Yes, but being unseen is half the battle, right? You know? So we make it where people have a hard time finding us, and then they have a hard time attacking us. You spend 2 more days on the trail. And then he's walking and he says, we are here. And he walks off of the trail down the river, from the river. You're standing in triple canopy jungle. And you're looking around. He walks you to a small stone that is a little bit of an outcropping that sticks out a little more than some of the local stuff is. Stones that stick out in the jungle are a rare thing. The stone was gray, dark gray at one point, but is so covered with green vegetation and moss and other things that just live on the wetness of that rock that it almost obscures the small symbol that is etched into it. Welcome to Aboria. This is my village. All you see around you is jungle.
I think he took that spider stuff you were talking about, Vale.
I look up since we're up into the canopy.
As you look up, that is where you see, past the first canopy, just barely visible, you can see beautifully constructed wooden homes built into the trees. Bridges across. No one ever touches the jungle ground until they need to. And it even expands over the river ravines and into it. And you can see a little crane mechanism for bringing down like buckets to the water to replenish their water supply from the river itself.
Amazing.
Yes. Please bear with me. And he takes his hand and he does a strange call that sounds kind of like a cat screaming on a fence. You hear a return. And then down rolls a massive ladder on ropes made of jungle vines. Please, follow me up. And you see him spring to the ladder as if he had been doing this all of his life, which he had.
I kind of look up and I turn to Sim and I'm like, no wonder he's so good at jumping off buildings.
He's had a lot of practice. Don't jump from this one though, probably.
Oh, yeah. There's no money on this.
Do you want to go up first? I'll catch you if you fall.
Promise. Okay. Whew. And then, like, very relieved, I finally go to look.
Record shows she does not promise.
The ladder is well built and is built enough to let outsiders who are not tabaxi climb it with relative ease. It is still not for the completely unfit. However, it is effective. As you all make your way to the top, you are standing before a small welcoming committee of other tabaxi and Bart, Blue Bart, as he is communicating through a series of meows, mews, whiny howls, and other linguistics that you do not understand in any way. They nod graciously but distantly as each of you make your way to the top. And he turns and goes, please remember, we are guests here. So while we are here, we must be respectful of the traditions. However, I have been told that because you are guests and because you have treated the jungle well, that you are being honored with a dinner tonight.
How exciting!
Yes.
Oh,
This is more like it.
I politely say nothing at the idea of what cats might cook for people.
how can we thank them?
Eat the food.
Okay.
Whatever is put in front of you, eat it. Okay? Now, there are some rules that, and they begin to try to talk to him because he's like, yes. And they're like, okay, Now, there are some rules I must make sure you understand. This is the lower canopy, okay? While on the lower canopy, you must observe as much silence as possible, okay? No lights, unless an emergency. No noise, no yelling to each other. Don't even talk much, unless it is close like this. Do you understand?
Sounds
Okay.
easy
Now,
enough.
there are multiple canopies. There is the second canopy, and there is the middle canopy, and then there is the upper canopy. The upper canopy is where we will be. It is just below the highest point of the leaves of the trees. We can still see through, we can still see the sky. It is beautiful. It is where we collect a lot of sunlight and rainwater and grow things. But that is where we can make noise. Turn on lights, do whatever we need to. But nothing below that. At the middle canopy is where quiet manufacturing is, if you will. It's where we make leather and other things. Blacksmithing is not really done much here, but we do have it. It is on the top canopy, where the noise can be masked most easily. While you are on the top canopy, you will have reasonable freedom of movement, but you will not be please try to avoid leaving the establishment that we are at, unless you request it in advance. Walking around here as an outsider for your own safety is a bad idea. Not because anyone will attack you, but because there are things here that don't work the way you think they do, and you will probably fall out of the tree to a screaming death below. All right.
I am like enraptured. This of all things rules for a place I don't know. Nailed it. 100% into it. We're here. 100. Yep. Good. Loving it.
Well, I'm glad you like it. In the meantime, please enjoy the hospitality. We will be here for only one day. We are restocking a lively dinner, possibly some dancing, and then we were back out on the ground again. Yes.
Well, I want to say no to a night of safety and a nice meal.
Absolutely. He turns back to them, a couple meows, and then he goes, okay, right this way. And he leads you up to the second tier where you see leather making, you see fish drying in the sun, or not in the sun, but drying in the air. You see a variety of different tasks that are not really loud, like basket making, on the second tier. On the third tier, one, it's a lighter color of woods that are used. And the sun is there. And there are, in addition to the tabaxi, you see there is a lively group of monkeys, spider monkeys, that run between the different things there. And they're like pets for everybody there. And they tend to get along okay. They're the only things probably more agile than the tabaxi themselves. But there are also tressums everywhere. And for whatever reason, the spider monkeys and the tressums actually get along, which is unusual. But that's probably because they grew up around each other from tiny creatures, tiny babies, all the way up. So you see them playing with each other. You might see a baby spider monkey riding on a big tressum, like someone might ride a Pegasus in other situations. And it's a lot of adorableness as well. But more importantly, you see the sun going down. And as that happens, you begin to hear light stringed instruments play in the distance. Flutes, maybe a didgeridoo or two, or a didgeridoo sounding thing or two, as we mix cultures a little bit. And at some point, Bart says, "I will leave you to your day. I will bring you down when the dinner is ready." And he goes and handles whatever errands he needs to handle. Your abode is actually like a villa. It's a very nice villa. It is a well-appointed villa. And you discover pretty quickly it's his villa.
How do we
there
know
are many,
that?
Huh?
How do we know
There
that?
are pictures.
Okay.
There are pictures, and it's obviously him in some of those pictures. As well as what looks like, brothers and sisters, possibly some older family members. You sit around some of the seats. There are blankets, but not thick ones. You get the feeling it doesn't really get cold here very often. There is a light mist along the canopy as the moisture has formed. That goes around the house, and if anything, there's a something to be said about some dryness for a change inside the building. Briefly, you manage to get yourselves cleaned up a little bit if you wish. You can even have you even launder your clothes should you wish.
Please.
At some point,
prestidigitation.
You see Bart comes back after the sun has gone down for about an hour. Yes, please, come in. Bring them. Sorry, force of habit. Which translates to, please come in. Please put the bags down here. And they are bringing in the supplies. And you see a number of other tabaxi, younger ones, coming in with a variety of bags with additional rations, coils of rope, some pitons and other things. And a few torches, and just chill, right? All right, our supplies are here. As you can hear in the distance, the dinner music is already playing. Please follow me. You guys move out of the villa, go down a few steps, go a little ways through the jungle canopy where you see like other houses, and they're lit by it's almost magic, but it's more like alchemy. Various chemicals from the plants and some of the bugs here mixed together form a kind of chemical light that they put together every night. And there's more than enough of it in the jungle to make this stuff easily. So every house has a blue-green light, or an orange warm light, depending on what they made that day, on the outside plus some on the inside. And it's lit enough that it's actually well lit from all these different things. The important thing is none of them emit any heat. Which, when you're trying to avoid bugs or certain other creatures, heat is not always your friend. as you make your way down to a well-lit space with a combination of oranges, blues, and green-hued lights sprinkled throughout. It is the equivalent of a open, what would you say, a flat deck, if you will, quite large in stature, with a couple raised platforms here and there where there are some musicians playing on one, food being served from another, people talking in various different places. So it's built to both be a center point as well as a place to gather discreetly in small groups outside of the main center point. Please, as our guests, you are right here at the head of everything. He sits you down. He sits down to the one side. He graciously bows. And you are welcomed by the village elder, and you see a very old cat, tabaxi looking thing, with dark brown and black spots, but white graying at the temples and the near the mouth and stuff like that. You can just tell that he's old, and he may be old, but he's still spry. He doesn't jump quite as fast as say Bart and some of the young tabaxi do, but he's definitely the older cat who still makes his way up and down the various different canopies. A couple interactions later, he mentions, you are very welcomed, and please feel free to partake from the food. Sit down, enjoy the entertainment. And then at that point, the elder goes, and dancers come out and the music begins to play as drums are being played and they move with the beat, and they're doing somewhat of acrobatics with it and everything else. While that's happening in the background, you see people enjoying themselves in other places. The food choices are it's not an animal that you're familiar with. However, it's cooked well and it smells delicious. You are handed a wooden bowl, and you are offered lots of different pieces to go into your bowl, and then you're given a wooden cup, and you're given water, and you're offered a piece of fruit to go onto your cup and enjoy. Go sit down. As you're sitting there, you can tell that you are being watched by the various people pointing, because you are outsiders. You are the people who don't belong. You are the weird ones without fur all over you. You are the ones that are the rarity.
I smile and pretend and I eat and drink heartily regardless of how the food actually tastes.
The food doesn't taste half bad. At some point, bowls are placed next to your existing bowls, small ones.
At some point, do we get drunk?
Huh?
I'm just wondering if at some point we get drunk this evening.
That depends on you. The small bowls next to you smell delicious, and then you look down and you see a variety of eyeballs looking back up at you.
Who does?
All of you. The little small bowls that they just gave you.
Nope.
It is
mine is immediately
delicacy
thrown in there the second I see it.
It's what?
Mine is immediate. I see the eyeballs. Ah!
And with a moment, you see Bart. Oh, you almost spill your eyeball soup. This is a delicacy. If you don't eat it, they will be insulted. It is a bad idea.
What? I ate so much on the road. I just don't think I can eat another bite. It's so good, but
at least sip from the cup. And he puts it back down.
And I just go,
Just so you know,
I can't.
Close your eyes first if you have to.
But their eyes are open.
That's why you need to close your eyes first.
I don't like my food looking at me.
Close your eyes and sip.
I kind of do like.
A couple people start laughing as they point at you. Everyone else sips, partakes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Like
I eat with a smile on my face. It's a really fixed smile.
It tastes okay. The eyeballs themselves pop. If you're not cool with it, it's probably not very pleasant of a texture for you. If you are cool with it, get over it quickly. Those eyeballs get rehydrated this way. But for those of you who did drink and eat, you get advantage on your next perception check.
Star's connected to it, don't mind me.
I'm going to tempt Reggie out and feed him a little bit of the offerings as well.
No, in fact, I will feed mine to Reggie. I'm gonna be like, oh, so good under the table.
I mutter, finally the damn badger's good for something.
You see a conversation of various types that are being fired at through to Bart, and he's acting as a translator. They are asking if you know anything about the flying ship that came by. I saw it go over.
There's a possibility that it brought in Garvale, a paladin.
They said there was a robed figure standing at a cylindrical thing, working the back of it, and another less flamboyantly robed figure walking around, and then wooden things moving around on the top.
Do you think it might have been the same flying ship we saw in Daggerford?
With the scary stuff in the sky?
No, the one we visited. They sort of give everyone a significant look, except Val, because he doesn't know what we're talking about.
Oh. Wouldn't that be a shame? Just gonna add that to the list, I guess, of future problems.
So no, only conjecture as to who may be on the ship.
I didn't even see a ship. You guys saw a ship?
This was like days ago, Lucy. What were you doing?
And I slap another bite, like a bug bite that's starting to hit. I don't know.
Do you think they're looking for us? Or maybe it's just like random happenstance. We've kind of been all over the place, and we're not the only ones who get to travel. People can travel.
I mean, come on. There's other people in the world.
Yeah. We're not like the main characters or anything.
So you know nothing about this particular ship then?
No idea.
Did you give us particulars about the ship?
You saw as much as I did.
You saw nothing? So did I.
It was a ship.
Well, they have scouts out looking for it now.
Why are you concerned about it?
Because probably because it's in the area, and it can actually hit the top canopy.
Hmm.
How
There's no
common are
reason to think
flying
it will.
Doesn't mean it won't.
Stranger danger.
Yes, we take our security very seriously. All Tabaxi villages do. They're not all of them are not in the trees either. They're in different ways. They hide.
It is a very impressive setup.
Well, it has been around for 300 years. But nonetheless, strangely, what we have heard is that a village north of the city of the dog people, one of our villages, has finally been overrun.
Did they chop the trees down, or was this not a tree village?
It was not a tree village. It was a village of stone taken over by our people. But it had a lot of hidden entrances, but what they're telling me is that only a few made it out.
How long ago?
No.
According to him, about 4 or 5, 10 days ago. We've been fighting a running, gunning battle with what is the dog people now. They have been horribly, horribly changed.
Changed?
Yeah.
Changed.
How How have they been changed?
The purple light, months ago?
Yes.
Mutations?
Yes. The purple light still glows, apparently, from the Temple of the Lightless Dawn. But,
Oh! Yeah, the one that has another name.
yes.
What did you call it, Vale?
Two very similar names, Obsidian Daybreak and the Lightless
That's
Dawn.
it. No.
Yes. Well, the issue is the purple light is still there. It's just not as bright as it was on the day that whatever happened.
Have any of your people made it inside recently?
No. We lose more scout teams trying to find out what's going on than anything else.
Perhaps if there was some way to turn the light off.
Yeah,
You're
of
telling
course, steps
me.
you do that.
But a flying ship, if we found it, could possibly get us in there.
We got a
get us
flying
out.
ship, guys.
Yeah, I think I have an idea on how we could lure the flying ship to us.
Really?
How?
Take an item out of an dimensional pouch and see if they lock onto it.
That seems overly risky.
Oh, you wouldn't do it in the village. Choose the terrain to your advantage.
We're
You'd
try,
have a
and that
place
means we get
where-
to fly over the forest, right? We get to fly over the jungle?
Except for you, Lucy. You'd have to stay down here.
Talk about that.
Well, scouts also report that our friends have slowed down looking for us.
Yeah, what did you do, by the way? You said you'd tell us later?
Yeah.
Well, whoever was in the lead got yanked upside down, and at least one arrow hit him. And anyone trailing him very likely got hit by the other two arrows.
Well, that would certainly hurt their forward progress.
And if
And their
anything,
bodies.
it makes them way more cautious about how fast they move.
Well, not that the eyeball soup wasn't delicious. Is there anything else on the menu? Maybe less body part forward.
Well, there are tubers and other plantains over there. You can
Oh,
just pick them up
that's
and-
me. And I go over.
And next to the meat tables are a variety of cooked, both dry and sweet plantains and tubers and other things, sliced and diced and mixed together, spiced with local spices, and it's quite delicious.
By local spices, exactly how spicy does it get?
Not very, but it's flavorful.
Okay. They know they're cooking for the pale people?
They don't care. You're their guests. You're gonna eat their food.
What I meant was just how much dairy do we have to eat to not
There's
have a mouth
this is
burning?
not. This isn't the equivalent of Thai food. No.
Okay, that's
You're
what
okay.
I'm checking.
Yeah, you're fine there. And spices aren't always hot,
I know.
right? So it's flavorful, right? They are. I am being asked, what do you think of the village so far and your time in the jungle?
It makes the village is amazing. The jungle makes me appreciate the city even more.
The village is wonderful. It's very impressive.
It's gorgeous. Um,
And please thank them for welcoming us. This is very lovely.
They say an appreciation of the jungle is an appreciation of life.
I think while we're sitting here, again, it seems like buffet style or whatever, and we're getting our food. In between, I'm starting to make flower crowns, which is the first time I've done it since we've left Neverwinter. But I'm actually pulling the flowers from, like, I imagine that are, like, in the jungle, using Druidcraft to start making crowns for people.
Mm-hmm.
So congrats, everyone's getting a crown.
Well, these are lovely. They're lovely. And the elder puts one on his head. Oh, and now everybody wants one. So have fun.
Are there like tabaxi cubs and stuff around too?
There are certainly tabaxi kits.
Aww.
Yeah. And they're mixed in with the teenage tabaxi and everything else.
I'll do stupid paper origami tricks for them, folding it into various shapes, and communicate to them, bring me paper and I will make you, whatever animal you want.
Balloon animal clown.
The elder requests a story, a tale of your time in Faerun. What is it like there?
Like, Luciano hears somebody wants a story and immediately is like, my mouth full, what? What's that?
Not that kind of bard.
Yeah. And he pulls out his lyre. He's like, oh, you want a story? Kind of, strums on the strings a little bit. And he starts going into, he's playing background music, talking about the dangers, the perilous adventures we've gone on Daggerford. Again, as mentioned, when Lucy felled a dragon. That's Lucy's literal favorite story.
And he's translating this as you say it.
The numerous adventures through the sewers, and I'm explaining in vivid detail what a sewer is.
And then he stops you for a minute. He goes,
as you think
the
it
elder
is.
asks, why would people make such things? These sewers, they sound terrible.
They take the waste away?
You do not have rivers?
It's kind of like we made a man-made river, but of waste.
That sounds disgusting.
And then I tell him about the time in Neverwinter. Not Neverwinter. We went from Waterdeep to Neverwinter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And about the heist, the Water Clock Guild, and the mechanical monstrosities that we fought off, embellishing, of course, Luciano's involvement, minimizing everybody else's.
I tell of Garlo and his sacrifice so that we may live.
Oh, the entire time I am hyping up Garlo. And
You just said you were hyping up Luciano.
No. But like in this specific story, when we get to that, after Vale mentions, like, yes, fiery balls, he faced death, and I'm giving him like the most, like, he is a warrior. We like pause for a moment. Just fly, let everybody feel the weight.
But he still travels with us.
And Luciano at this point realizes that's like the first time he's talked about it public, like in any kind of sense, and he like stops after a minute and just kind of walks away. He's like, okay, hold on.
So you just walk away?
Not like away, but like kind of just like, gotta step back. Hold on.
So you step back. Okay. These stories, what the elder says, are quite beautiful. He thanks you for your tales of adventure and of great loss of your friend. He would also add that as long as you talk and remember your friend and tell your stories about him, he never will die.
My heart
Yeah.
hurts.
Lucy hears that, and like, being a person who can take social cues, understands like to nod and smile and be like, thank you, and accepts like the platitude. He's not really like that on that. Like, yeah, okay. Huh?
Lucy, do you want to share the tale of Magra and his plans? Why we're here? Why we've come to the jungle?
Are you sure that's wise?
What is a mogra?
And then I described the big fiery storm cloud, like the big cloud that we saw that was speaking to us. Here's as far, and I'm like, that's Magra. Big, stormy, all powerful.
And he was riding in a ship like what you described?
Well, there was one, yeah,
Larger,
yeah.
Bigger.
like a castle in the sky.
Oh. What is a castle?
It's a very large building that's built so that if somebody attacks it, they can't take it and get to everyone inside it.
A treehouse made of stones.
Oh, okay. Okay. The elder then stops and points at Rafe and says something that, you know, in Tabaxi that you don't understand. And of course, Bart translates it. Goes, Rafe, the elder says he sees a great conflict within you and asks if you are okay.
Some things were revealed to me recently that have changed my perspective. I am adapting.
Lucy whispers, he found out he's part fish god.
Bart looks at you and goes, fish god?
Well, crab god. I looked at everyone, I'm like, crab, right?
He's got the heart of a quipper. He could strip the meat off a thunder lizard in under a minute.
So there's a quiet ferocity within Rafe. Waiting
Oh,
to come
you should
out.
see his skulls.
Skulls? You collect skulls? You
Not-
collect those?
Not
No,
so,
not so much.
much. Collect them.
He throws them.
Oh. Okay, that is only slightly less creepy.
Trust me, it's just as creepy as it sounds.
Do you have any questions for the elders? I'll let you think about those when we come right back after our break. You can ask all those questions. We'll be right back. Word from our sponsors real quick. What do we got coming up here?
Well, I mean, I guess we could talk about how amazing Shard Tabletop is, if we
Please do.
must.
Please do. Go.
Well, if you didn't know, let me inform you about how amazing Shard Tabletop is. Shard Tabletop is the virtual tabletop that we use to play Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction. And it is so good that it is the virtual tabletop of the Games Tavern. It is so easy to use, and it has everything you can need. Character options, supplements, adventures, rules, and the ability to place yourself on a map, see things, let you see the world around you, move around on the map, put the you have shared inventory, you have access to all the rules and the supplements that you need in order to build out your character, put all your spells in, do area of effect spells. It's amazing. I can't say enough good things about it because it helps a person like me be able to effectively play a game like D&D. I am not so good, so this makes me better. If you want to level up your games, please do yourself a favor. Use our link and go check out Shard Tabletop. You can use !Shard in chat to get that link. And to make it even better for you, you can use code TGTShard20 when you check out for 20% off all of your subscriptions. I cannot stress that enough. TGTShard20 gets you 20% off all of your subscriptions at checkout. Please do yourself a favor, level up your game, and save yourself some money.
Right, gang. We'll be right back in just a few short minutes. And we're back. Oh, look, a tabaxi tail. Way to go, Vale. Getting into the immersive spirit. Where we last left off, the party was at a festival with the tabaxi hosts in Aboria. And Bart had just asked if there was any questions they had for the elders.
Yes, indeed, Bart. If you could relay to them. We've gone through a lot together, but I feel like there's still a lot of baggage that we have yet unpacked. Is there some ritual that he could perform to help us unburden ourselves on each other?
He kind of looks back and leans back and squints one eye, reveals a little bit of one fang as he's kind of looking you over. Nods, looks over at the village elder. The village elder smiles, looks back. I am glad you asked this. The village elder was actually going to propose a gift for all of you. But he has to get permission first.
Permission?
Yes. And at that, you see him whispering to a young tabaxi with a number of feathers, tied around his ears. Dart off. Are there any other questions while we wait?
What can you tell us about the Temple of the Lightless Dawn?
Not much. It is made of it is a large temple, from what we have of our stories. The dog people were not the original builders. They moved in later. Whoever built it was people of ginormous stature. Very large stature indeed. And so they built on top of it. So it is a mixture of both local stone and a stone of lightlessness. What is within, we don't know. From the few scouts that have returned, the top of what was once the temple is now wide open to the sky. And it is where a purple-hued light now spews forth. But other than that, it is not of our people. It was of the dog people.
I have one other question if nobody else has one.
Please.
Do you have anybody, do you recall 50 years past, an expedition of human and elven academics that may have passed through here on their way to the temple? And I describe a couple of people that would have been in the party. My mom, my dad, the symbols they would have been wearing.
He through a variety of listening. Village elder goes, responds back to him in a series of tabaxi language, and he goes, yes, he does remember an expedition. It was a city that they were uncovering further north from the Temple of the Lightless Dawn. It is a very dark place. It was a place where dog people went but did not return when they were kind. And if I recall correct, and he says, and if he recalls correctly, because he was a young man then, they left in quite haste, and only a very few left alive. Something was awoken there very badly.
I tell him, Vampire was awoken.
I do not know what a vampire is.
The drinkers of blood.
He says that to him. He goes, okay.
Oh, when I say that and don't get any other reaction, then it seems like I'm thinking they haven't encountered, roving gangs of vampires, so
No.
good for them.
Good for everyone, right? At that moment, you have time for one more question, if anyone's going to ask it.
Actually, this entire time, I have been working with my sheaf of papers, and I'm going to hand a couple of them over to Bart. You'll find that these are not an explanation per se, but a diagram of how sewers work and what they're intended to do. Unfortunately, I don't know how to write in your language, so
it is okay. I don't know how to read in any language except the Maxi, so it is okay. But the pictures are lovely, very lovely. Yes.
Hey, if you're such an artist, I look over the shoulder. Didn't know you could draw so well.
Well, it's useful when you are designing systems.
You would have been natural with the water clock skill.
I've never seen so many straight lines. Sim has a never-ending line of kid tabaxis who are all like, I want the next flower crown. I want the next flower crown. And at that moment, you see the young tabaxi with the feathers in his ears return with a tabaxi that looks even older than the village elder, with two other tabaxi dressed in similar fates. There are feathers all throughout, along with beads and other accoutrements. And you get the feel almost immediately of a religious nature of this particular individual, and also of the people that are in his entourage.
I turn to Bart and I'm like, is he on his 8th or 9th?
Oh, he is definitely on his 9th. I'm surprised you know this about the Maxi culture.
A wild guess.
Well, as we evolve and have our experiences, we count them as lives.
You know what life I'm on. And I'm like,
yes. He goes and he speaks to the village elder. The village elder looks back, gives a nod, and then the entirety of the sound goes quiet as he produces cups. Birds take off everywhere. And everyone begins to sit quietly. He begins chanting quietly to himself as he begins to knead things into the cup and pour liquids and other things mashed together. And then he puts it in front of you with mixed berries and juices in there. And it smells actually like a fruit punch, if you will. And he places a small cup in front of each of you, about the size of a shot glass. To drink of this cup is to open your mind. It is not always pleasant what you find, but it is always opportunity. You are being given a great gift. You will be the only outsiders in my lifetime that has ever been offered this gift.
I look at everybody and I'm like, you want this gift? I'm just kind of looking concerned,
For once, I look like I'm actually siding with Luciano on the side of offending the natives.
Lucy, drink it. Go on, you got this.
You drink it. I wouldn't want to. And I kind of pass it.
The shaman picks up your cup and puts it in your hands, Luciano, and pushes it up.
Yes, thank you. Oh, I'm so excited to drink this later.
What are you, scared?
Luciano, you must drink it now. The potency goes away if you do not.
That doesn't sound like a bad thing.
no.
This is a great thing.
Cool.
Most tabaxi will only get this once in their life if they are lucky.
You want it?
No. This is for you. It was made for you. It would be a dishonor to take it from you.
Oh, I would hate to dishonor you. And I just kind of, I'm like, we're doing this, guys? And I'm like, I'm looking to see if I'm the only one with my glass up. Like, what do we?
Do we all have our own cup?
All have your own cup.
I hold it up then to Garlo.
Oh, now I really can't refuse to drink it.
So everybody drinks?
Is it rude to mix stuff in it?
Yes.
Okay, well, I take a... Maybe I won't. Never mind. I was going to chase it. Okay. I'm like, all right.
It's like a very potent fruit punch with a whole lot of booze in it, but it's not booze.
Could you
It
call it
burns as
maybe
it goes down.
jungle juice?
It's
Spirits, 100% spirits.
you guys drink that, and at first you guys are all feeling pretty damn good within a minute. Really darn good. I need everyone to make a constitution check.
Uh-oh.
No. Check your
Yeah, buddy.
save. Oh. Wrong one. Wrong one. That was a save.
Oh yeah, you asked for a check, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Apparently it was just
You rolled a 15 both times, and
Okay.
total 16.
For a brief moment, you see everyone watching you, like with anticipation. And then for each and every one of you, they slowly fade. The sounds slow down. Everything for time slows down. Luciano, everything goes from that beautiful night evening with the blues, greens, and oranges and yellow lights and beautiful smells of food to the smell of an acrid, dry wasteland. Your vision is taken to a desert that has no end. You hear the sounds of loud horns and drums played in the distance. And for miles, you see a phalanx of armored figures in black armor, with towering creatures amongst them, walking along the lines, yelling in a language that you can only remember in your memories and on your contract. Bigger, more hideous creatures even further behind them bellow commands, and various different groups lower weapons. You see, as explosions begin to form all around, ravening hordes moving towards that phalanx. The hordes made up of all sorts of terrible, horrific creatures, moving at breakneck speed with everything they've got to slam into the phalanx. The creatures look like short-nosed, fanged, furious, slavering dogs. Hunched shoulders with big pole arms and jagged blades. By the thousands, the hundreds of thousands, slam into the phalanx of what can only be described as your very distant cousins.
What's going on? And I'm just kind of like, Come on.
What you are witnessing is a battle unlike ever seen before. Nothing on Toril could match it. And you are torn between never wanting to be there and supporting your brothers in the phalanx. Vale, as your world slips into a grayness, you are not given a memory that you've ever had. Instead, you see a vast, open city of extremely large proportions, giant proportions, if you will. Not of a black stone in this instance, but of a marbleized granite, well-hewn, runes throughout, various different people running to and from. Armored figures stride throughout, fiery red hair everywhere they go. You recognize them immediately from your readings as fire giants, but of an ancient version. As they gather, they are surrounding another fire giant. One who is pale, whose bright orange hair is slicked back. The night sky, bright moonlight flashes down as he savages fire giant after fire giant, trying to push him back in. And eventually one does stake him with something the size of a tree. At that, he stops moving briefly and is slammed into a container and sealed tight and lowered deeply into a building as a vault forever. Punishment for his transgression and what he's become. Turja, you are taken back to a time when the city bells rang and you're a child playing with your sister, your little brother, playing with blocks. And your mother comes in. We must go. We must go quickly. Your father stomps in his boots. Hurry up. We don't have time. Yes. You're scooped up along with the other kids. Your brother crying because his blocks are left behind. You are placed into an armored carriage. And you hear the sounds of fire, explosions, fighting in the distance as the horses gallop away with another train of wagons out a gate. It's an old memory, one you should be too young to remember, but it's as if it just happened. Simmering, you remember childhood before the time. The woods, playing carefree with your brother, learning the various different things on how to write with filigreed script in the Elvish language, sounding out the words. You remember when your arms matched. You remembered how wonderful that time was. The first 30 years. And a few faces suddenly come back to haunt you. One of which stared back at you when you were near the woods, near the Ardeep so long ago. You suddenly recognize a face that stared at you. Rafe, you see darkness, fire, death. You see the last vestiges of humanity attempting to stop what's left as undead surround a walled city and begin crumbling the walls. You see people that look like a variety of friendly dogs become warped by black fell magics. And as each of them die, they rise up again, brought back to life with black eyes, changed snouts, hunched shoulders, and a hunger that never ends. And you see them spreading and spreading and spreading. And with a flash of light, purple in color, you see what looks like an opening to another world where they're coming through. And just as you're about to see what's possibly fueling this, all 5 of you pop back in. You don't know how long you've been out, but you know you're back now, and everyone's watching intently. Are you with us?
Luciano, I think, is probably sweaty. He's kind of wipe his forehead and kind of like wipe his hair to the side and kind of look around to see like.
I look close to crying and gonna try to kind of like push it back real good and just get a little closer into myself. Kind of pulling legs close and arms around self.
I've got a tear running down my cheek, but it's a tear of blood, which I wipe away.
As each of you are coming out, you see the very close face of the shaman standing before you, who mixed your cups in the first place. He looks each of you in the eyes. Says that it is a very, very good omen that none of you had a bad trip.
Fine, bad trip.
Well, everyone would know it when they saw it. And gosh, may your gods help you if you're the one having it.
I just sort of look around at everyone for a minute, and then I walk away and I go back up to Bart's villa.
It is okay. It can be painful, what you learn or experience, and sometimes being within your own thoughts is normal and a good way to process.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Is there like a punch bowl or wherever there would be, it might be liquor? I'm looking for anywhere I can get it.
Oh, yes, the fermented foods are right up there.
I'm gonna grab a cup wherever I can and just. It's probably non-kosher, but I'm just gonna.
Not with the same shot glass, I hope.
Oh no, I'm getting a cup.
Okay.
I assume there's cups next to the punch.
Oh yeah, they just drop the cups in. It's okay. The liquor is tasty. It's not strong.
Yeah. So. No, I just needed something to wash it kind of out. And I'm gonna go after Turja.
All of you were only out for about 3 seconds. You know this, right?
3 seconds, that's all?
Well, that's very disorienting, thank you.
Well, I have done it once. I know. But I am glad you're all okay. We will leave in the morning.
Then we'll see you in the morning. Thank you,
right.
Bart.
I will be social and go meet with some other friends. You know where my villa is?
Do we?
Bart.
Yes.
Yeah,
you
we
do.
were.
Okay.
Yes. If you get lost, just ask anyone in the neighborhood where Barter of the Flaming Waters home is. Just say barter, and they will know.
Bartholomew.
Yes, barter. Yes. All right. I will see you all later. Best of luck. And he walks off and begins speaking with another group off to the side, and the shaman takes his entourage away. You are each that are still there slapped on the back by the village elder, and he says nice things in Tamaxi, you're assuming, but you can't understand a word he's saying. And he wanders away.
I was really looking forward to dancing and drinking, but I think I just want to go back and have a sit.
We can dance and drink back at the villa. And not have to worry about falling off the platform.
That's a bonus. Yeah, I guess. And then I follow suit with what Lucy did. And scoop a drink and start to wander.
I'll take the punch bowl with us.
Yes, Vale.
Some of the tabaxi look very confused, but don't know what to do to stop you. So you're just like, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So who's going back to the villa? I know
I was
Turgi
chasing
already
after,
went.
chasing after her.
All right. Luciano's going to the villa. Sem's going to the villa. Vale's going to the villa with a punch bowl, so he's everybody's friend. Rafe, what are you doing?
I'm going with Sim.
All right. Are you walking in lockstep with Sim?
Depending on how sober she is and how amused it makes her, maybe.
She's pretty lost in her own head, so not so much the issue is sober, but maybe just making sure she doesn't get too lost in thought and, take a wrong step.
Okay.
All right. You make your way back to the villa as you guys stumble in one by one. Not Vale, because he's carrying the punch bowl. Vale puts the punch bowl down on a table that's kind of toward the food preparation area of this home, and grabs a few more glasses, puts them down, I'm assuming, just to make it easier for those who didn't bring their punch bowls. Turja, did you go straight up to your room?
I'm sort of sitting in the common area.
Okay.
Come, have a drink so we can drink our feelings away and talk.
Yeah, I immediately, that's the reason I chased after him. Like, Turja, are you all right? I've not seen you so shaken.
I sort of look at them for a second, and then I just make a sudden decision, and I walk over and I sort of scoop up a drink, and I just start tossing them down.
Drink, drink, drink.
Oh, I don't do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's more like I toss one down quickly, and then I take another and start sipping.
Sure. So you're feeling it, huh?
Anyone care to share?
He's just like very much in his cup.
I saw my mother.
Oh, when?
Just now. I never
Oh.
remembered that before. She died when I was little. I've never seen her before. Not outside of a portrait.
It's on memory?
When I was little, my mother's family is from Sundabar.
Is that the city that got Sundabar? Was that wiped out during that war a couple decades back?
That's the one.
Shannon's just like, oh.
So sorry.
I was too young to remember, but the memory, it was very clear, and once we drank whatever that was, we must have been there, because it's the only thing that makes sense. I think I saw us leaving Sundabar, my family.
you have other family when you say your family? Like, is your dad alive?
Oh, and in this I go, oh yeah, you have a sister, right?
Not anymore.
And immediately Luciana just,
Well, there's an answer for that, and hand you another cup.
double fist.
What happened?
To whom?
I mean, it sounds like you could throw a dart, but I guess your sister?
She was killed.
What?
Were you responsible for her death?
Do you think I kill everyone around here that's dead?
Could have been an accident.
No, I had nothing to do with it. I only found out about it in tribal.
Oh,
Luciano kind of hits.
But come to think of it, that was before you joined us. I look at
I assume I'm sitting next. I want to be sitting next to Vale, and I just kind of hit Vale. And when he says, "Did you kill him?" I'm like, dude.
I've read a lot of books. Okay, I'm just going down the list of.
True. Family is always, yeah.
Who did it? In Tribord? Is that why you were gone?
No, I found out from a friend in tribal. It happened about a year ago, apparently. Based on what the crab god told us, I suspect Lord Greycastle or one of his thugs.
Hey, guy.
Why would Lord Greycastle kill your sister?
That's an excellent question, to which I have yet to have found an answer.
What do you mean you didn't know for a year?
I give Cimarine this long look. Suffice to say that my family and I do not stay in close touch.
Did you steal from them?
I'm very interested now, and I just kind of lean in. I'm like,
No, I didn't steal from them. We had a philosophical disagreement.
off of on matter.
Like what?
Yeah, maybe I'm prying too much. And I just.
My father and I have different ideas on how one is supposed to conduct business.
What business is he in?
We trade. My father does not really tolerate disagreement on how to conduct business, or a disagreement on much of anything, really.
Parents are hard. That I can understand.
Are you okay?
I'm as alright as I'm going to be.
So, see,
I
your
drink
dad
some
is
more.
your dad's alive. Do you have any other siblings?
I have a brother.
Nice, nice.
Who didn't tell me when my sister was killed, so we need to have words about that when I get a chance.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty big secret to keep.
I'll tell you what I saw in that drink.
Yeah.
You know, when we were underwater and the ancient fish god, I apologize for butchering the name, shared with us details. The detail I got was about the Black City where my dad was turned into a vampire. I saw the vampire. I'm pretty
Red
sure
hair.
the red hair. I'm pretty sure he was a fire giant, and that city was a fire giant city, and that something happened. He was turned into a vampire, and they locked him away there, and that's what was opened up. So, yeah, that's what we got in our future: vampiric fire giant.
Are you a fire giant?
Well, I mean, I have been told. No, sorry, no.
Luciano's like so like, and he's like, wait, what? Huh?
I'll just drink.
Your family tree is confusing.
Yeah, there's like so many. Like how? Ooh. Very important person, Vale. Pat him on the shoulder.
So, what'd you see, Lucy?
I see my friends and I drink.
You
Well, that's
saw
a
us?
cop out.
Oh, in the vision. Oh. It's really, I don't know how to explain it, and I'm like, very hard to put into words. And Lucy's not trying to like necessarily hide it. He just doesn't. I just don't understand how to make you understand how I was feeling. It was a vast desert and opposing forces, armor, clashing. I saw a bunch of and I assume when you said my kind, you meant tieflings. Right, yeah. There was a lot of there was tieflings that.
It wasn't
Or-
tieflings.
Oh, it
was
wasn't.
devils.
Okay, that's what I figured. Okay, I knew it was one of the two.
But there were so many of them from such a distance. You knew they were your kindred, but you didn't know all the different kinds.
There were some, and I kind of like, I don't want to say devils because that has a weird stigma to it. I don't want to put on Lucy. Some beings not unlike myself, locked in some kind of conflict, and to be honest, I kind of felt duty bound to be there. It felt like I needed to be a part of it.
Is that like a family curse or something? Is that what Garvale smelled on you?
Honestly, couldn't tell you. It would be interesting to know. I mean, I did hear. Well, and I kind of. So there's like this person who told me he knew my grandfather. So like maybe. I don't know. I don't know too much about my family as far back as that. So.
Wow.
But yeah, it was what's that?
Why not?
Don't get on very well. Haven't really spoken to my family and I kind of count on my fingers. Nearly a decade.
What have you been doing for a decade?
Perfecting my craft. You think one gets this good simply by chance? Yeah, they didn't eye to eye with me pursuing music or pursuing anything outside of the grounds. Growing up a tiefling, parents aren't always.
I hold out a mug, and as I gesture towards Lucy, I kind of spill a little bit on myself.
Yeah.
Lucy, I don't believe what you're saying, and I would like to challenge you to a battle of the truth or something. I don't know what the rules are here, but I don't believe what you're saying. One doesn't simply.
This is how this goes. Luciano, you will roll against Persuasion or deception, depending on if you're persuasion if you're telling the truth, deception if you're lying, but you don't tell him which one you're rolling against. Vale, you're rolling an insight check, and your score has to beat his.
Oof.
Am I supposed? Oh, do I just roll a 20? Because it'll tell you what I roll.
You just roll a 20 and then
add my modifier.
Add your modifier. Normally I do this with dice so no one can see everything, but yeah.
27.
Well, Luciano, you can tell him whichever part you want to.
No, yeah, no. So as far as what I was doing, yeah, no, they didn't really want me outside on my own, so I left to pursue music.
Oh, they didn't want you? I kind of start crying and
No,
sympathize.
not
with
that
you.
they didn't want me. They didn't want me going outside the estate, the
They
grounds.
didn't want you. And that's what I'm interpreting, and just
Why didn't they want you going out the grounds?
Human parents don't always want the neighbors knowing they have a tiefling.
Weren't you with them for at least 18 years? Didn't it get out?
What,
Yeah. That's a long time.
your parents hid from the other people what you were too? Because that's what my mom did. She hid about me being a vampire.
Oh, I go over. I'm just like giving Phil a hug.
Crying. It's all flowing out. Tears,
Okay,
a little bit
buddy.
of blood.
I take out my handkerchief and just wipe his blood off his face. Oh, it's okay, Vale. Yeah, no,
I bet they love you though.
and I kind of mentioned, I'm like, there might be, like, I'm trying to decide how truthful I want to be. I've recently, I have run into some information, someone who does have information on a relative of mine. I just haven't really gotten all that information yet.
If it's lineage as you want, you just got to go to the library. You got to find the right library. They got all that stuff in there.
Maybe you can take me. And I just like still hugging him, just trying to. Maybe you can take me, Vale.
In Perfect Infernal, I say to you, I would love to help you look up your lineage someday.
Oh.
Does Luciano
I start
understand
crying.
that?
Yeah, I speak Infernal.
Oh, okay, just checking.
I start crying.
The funny thing about Infernal was, Luciano, you just always knew it, but you didn't know why.
Yep. And I, very like I start crying. I'm like, oh, and back in comment, I'm just like, oh, that means so much. Yeah. So yeah, I don't. The dream was a lot. The vision was not at all what I was expecting.
Lucy, I point at Rafe. He didn't know either. He didn't know either.
Right. Speaking of, what did? And I'm very much trying to like push the. While still hugging Vale, I'm just like, what did you see, Rafe?
Oh, fire, death, dogmen, armies. None of it was interesting.
And like I stop rubbing Vale's back for a minute. I'm like, okay. What?
Sounds very interesting. Tell us about it.
I mean, what did you expect? My major revelation happened quite some time ago. Well, relatively some time ago. I mean, the vision was a bit of a jumbled mess. I saw the corruption of the dogmen. I saw the marching of their armies. I saw violence and bloodshed and fire. I have no idea if this is meant to be premonitory or revelatory or what. Very confusing.
What? Where was the battle at? I kind of burp.
Legitimately thinking back, I don't think it took place in a specific place. So Rape is going to answer with, honestly, it was a blur.
So you do remember the purple light and the
Yep.
temple being exposed to the sky after the top's been popped off of it.
But that's not what Vale asked about.
I know, but I'm just reminding you of some of the very specifics that
Yep.
might detail where it is.
Maybe.
Mhm.
Ow.
Look,
Bug people.
we got to stop that purple light, whatever that is. Fell from the sky, all that corruption. It's no good. It's no good. No good.
I go over and I take another glass full of the punch.
Did you know that the owner described the stone of the Temple of the Dog People of the Lightless Stone as completely black, reflecting no light? It would explain its name, but does it remind you of something else we saw recently?
Yeah.
I look significantly where the bag of holding is.
A disc?
You could say that.
I like look to make sure. I did say it.
You did. You
Yeah.
did. You said it.
I take another drink. You think the two are connected?
I think so, yes.
You think that also Magra's gonna be there? I think we should go. Abandon ship.
I'm not
No,
sure
no,
that's
no, no, no.
an option.
We're gonna take his ship.
I'm on board again.
On board the ship. That's right.
Yes. I look to Sim because Luciano's upset that his deep dark secrets came out, and I'm like, so Sim, what'd you see?
Yeah, I've been minding my own business besides asking the occasional nosy question. Probably real comfy on a seat somewhere. What did I see? I saw my brother, and we were little again, like really little. I had both my arms, which was nice to see. It's been a minute.
What was it like?
Having both your arms?
I was gonna say you
Yeah,
should.
was it more fun than your wooden arm?
You know what it's like to have two arms, Lucy.
I don't know what it's like to have a wooden arm.
This one's fine.
I can't feel my other arm right now.
I
kinda,
whack
like, hit it.
heavy my wooden arms. It could be this the left one on your one that you're saying doesn't have feeling. Just drop it.
No, can't feel a thing. This side of the face too.
Are you? Hey, hey, Vale, are you okay?
And I just kind of pat your face.
Maybe in the morning I'll feel it.
Yeah, you might have a bruise there, champ. I'm sorry. I guess. Have fun with that.
Okay. The two arms.
Yeah. Oh yeah, two arms. And I think I saw my family. And again, like I don't.
Besides
really,
your brother?
Yeah, like besides my brother. And here's okay. I was digging in my notes trying to figure out what the face that I saw passing RD. Was that someone that we met in town too, or was that just like someone on the edge of the city or edge of the forest that we ran by?
It was several wood elves that you had passed by that had basically come out and talked briefly, and then one stared at you for a moment,
Gotcha.
confused, and then stepped into the forest.
Well, then I'll go ahead and relay that scene for our sakes. I think they might have been my family. So, like, here's the thing. Here's the fun thing. I don't know how long I was gone, right? Like, I am the age that I am, whatever age that might be. I don't know how long I was gone, though. And they look about the same. So, I don't know. It could be that it could have been a day, could have been an hour, it could have been a month. And I could have lived this whole lifetime, and they're there. And they're in deep forest. Still doing whatever they're doing, living their life, while I was off living a lifetime elsewhere in a place I didn't want to be. So there's that.
Where was the place you didn't want to be?
Huh?
Where were you? The place you didn't want to be, what was it?
The place with the face spiders, right? The face spiders?
Yeah, I grew up in the Feywild.
Is
And
your
I
brother still
look-
there?
Very confused.
Yeah, he's still there. At least that's per like I hit Rafe's chest. For his dad, I guess. Still
Did
there.
you leave him there?
That's a complex question. One might say the word yes to that, though. And yes probably would be a fair answer.
So, who raised you then?
Okay, so it's just like, again, names are important, and I don't really want to call her attention, so we're just gonna call her the lady. That's mostly what I called her anyways, was the lady.
What's wrong with the lady?
She has, I mean, what's wrong is kind of, again, a heavy question. I'm sure she thinks she's perfectly fine. Archfey are like that, though, right? They just kind of do what they want. Not really caring about much else. So, my brother and I might or may not have been given to her, like, as a gift or something. I don't really remember that much, other than I was little. I'm pretty sure our parents gave us away, and which is, again, frustrating to see that they're just living their life. Family just living, doing what they're doing. Like nothing happened. It's fine.
Oh my God, that's so terrible. Like,
No, don't cry. Don't cry. It's fine. It's good.
Yeah, and I
but yours gave you away. I'm just kind of blubbering.
yeah.
Get him some water.
I give him more juice.
Do you want me to hurt
water.
someone for you? I'll hurt someone for you. I'll hurt him good.
I mean, I should probably get my brother sooner rather than later, because again, I've been out of here for like I think it's been a year or two at this point. I don't know how long he's been there. And I really hope he's okay. He did a lot to make sure I was okay, and it's probably about time to return the favor. But we got like this apocalypse or whatever happening, so priorities.
If we save the world, people are going to owe us.
Right?
They know
I go over Vale and I go over to Sim and I give her a hug and I'm like, as soon as we stop the apocalypse, I'll do whatever I can to help your brother. I'm overcome. Like, this entire story is one of the most tragic stories. I'm like, oh my God.
This has just kind of been a dump of all of our stuff, and it's been super great. It's like the first time I've probably been really uncomfortable with touching other people. Like, I am not comfortable with the crying hugs, and I'm just like, this is great. And like looking over at Turja, like, help. Lend a hand, get me out.
I look at Serene and just say, what? What are you looking at me for?
I kind of just...
Her family, remember, city burning, sad. Go look at her. She needs a hug.
Turja. And I just open arms. Turja. Oh no, Turja.
And I'm just gonna glance Simrian's way and throw her a very surreptitious thumbs up nod.
Turja, you had a dad, but he was cold and didn't love you. Oh my God. I'll give you the treatment too.
The sensitiveness that's coming out about Vale is just so touching right now. It's kind
Her
of
group name is now Parental
Does
Trauma.
blood get on me because of Vale's crying?
I was weaponized. I was just sent your way.
Okay.
Nice.
Turja, I'm so sorry about your sister. Vale has rubbed off on Luciano. He's just...
As you guys process through the rest of the night, you guys get a good night's sleep. If you haven't marked down a long rest on all those days that have followed, now's your chance.
While
ahead.
everybody's going to sleep, I want to go to Vale while he's still in like a semi-inebriated state, if not inebriated still. And I go, can I have you look at something?
Sure.
You're a man who you read books. You constantly talk about them.
I do.
And I now know that you speak this language. And I pull out my contract. And it's still just kind of
show him the
folded,
contract.
Well, it's still kind of folded up, and I'm just I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. So I was given this a while. I don't really. I've been trying to put it off because I don't know what to do about it, and I kind of show him. I'm like, maybe you can help me. If nothing else, it might just be helpful.
Since I met you all, for one of you to ask me to help you with a book. Yes, I'll help you with this. And I instantly sober up like 33% from where I was. I would love to help you with it. In fact, I can try right now. Here, take my hand to start.
Okay.
Heart to heart, so we're in sync. Here.
Oh.
So, Vale, you know where we have the shared folders and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Open up the one that's got your character's name on it. And you'll see one that says...
The copy.
Luciano's. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it here.
Now, it's going to be challenging to read, but that's not an accident.
Got it.
Okay. So you can look at that from whatever he's trying to show you there.
I can definitely translate this into common for you and mark it up.
That would be such a big help. I can read it, but I've never read anything like this. It's challenging.
Yeah, I can do that for you.
And it comes with certain stipulations, so I feel like I should know what it says.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. This means so much to me. Thank you.
It means a lot to me too. And it would mean even more to me if we didn't. Yeah. If we kept this to ourselves.
We need another drink.
Yeah.
We need another drink.
At the bottom of the contract, you see Luciano's full name and his blood signature with his thumbprint.
Oh, I forgot about that bit. Yeah.
Huh. Okay, Bill, I'll do this for you.
What? Oh. Yeah, let's definitely keep that bit. Like, I am like now, like that to me is the biggest secret. Yeah, let's keep that bit to us.
Say no more. All right. I'll translate that up, and transcribe it for him then into common.
Okay. That takes you a couple hours to do that for him. But yeah, you can see that there's definitely some scary things there, Vale.
Wow. Yeah, I'll mark it up so you get a nice side-by-side comparison there.
The problem is the date that's on it is the same day you guys got into a really big fight. When did he have time to sign this?
Would this be the day that Garlo died?
The day that Garlo died.
Yeah, I guess a lot did happen on that day.
Hey, oh god. Hey, describe what the scribe looked like.
What the?
Or what
the
did
other
he sound
individual?
like? Yeah.
Annoying. He's a devil. My God.
I got knocked out in that fight too, and I think he made an offer to me. He made a pass at me.
That floozy, how dare they? Thought I was special. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it was one and the same. In fact, I think it came to us early in our trip together. Kakadak?
Yep.
Um, I still haven't fully digested this. But yeah, there was a lot that happened. Rock hard place. I made a choice, and here we are. Definitely happy with our choices.
Hmm. I mean, I'm looking through it here. It's possible you could get out of it.
And I kind of like sigh because it's, but and like Lucy's obviously been contemplating this while. If I didn't want to.
What if you didn't want to?
I mean, there's a lot of benefit that comes with it. He's not wrong. When he brought me back, I could do a lot with what he offers. So, you know me, I'm not the strongest in this group. I don't know.
Look, there's a lot of types of strength out there. Just because you don't lift the sword the same Garlo did doesn't mean that you're not a benefit. You got magic that I'll never have.
Akadak offers more. So I don't know. Like I said, it's been hard I've had no sounding board for this, so
Tough choices.
Anyway.
It was a bad fight. I mean, who knows? Maybe we all would have died if you hadn't done it.
That's what makes me. Maybe it's not such a bad thing.
But hey, I see Eternity mentioned in here multiple times, so you got a little while to work it out.
Maybe I'll live long as Rafe.
I mean,
Anything's possible?
Is Rafe listening to this conversation?
I was gonna say. How long have you been
Actu- Well, a long
there?
time.
Oh God.
all right. We can talk about this more when we're fully sober.
Probably for the best.
You all get a good night's sleep, and you wake up the next morning, and we'll cover that when we come back next week on Whiskey, Magic, and Distraction.
Yay!
Hey guys, really awesome seeing you guys start to figure things out together as a team. I love the role play between you guys just as much as anything else. Please keep that up. That's awesome. I just want to say thank you to everybody who was in chat today. We really appreciate that. I see a bunch of names, new names today, and I really appreciate seeing all the new faces. And I see some old familiar friends as well, and I'm glad to see all of you guys there too. So let's give you, if you're still in chat, please give a big thank you to the cast and crew, especially our tech goblin behind the scenes. Phil is awesome and keeps things running for us, so we really appreciate him. A big thanks to Lucci. Who's our sponsor again?
Oh, you mean Start Tabletop?
Yes.
The best in the business when it comes to virtual tabletop experiences. Well, let me introduce you. You can use our link in chat right now, !shard. Visit the link and go take a look at it. It's got everything you need for your D&D games. It has supplements. It has the ability to help you make character sheets. It's got the actual virtual tabletop, so you can put your pieces on it, move around a map, display what you want your players to see, hide things you don't. It's got shared resources. It's an amazing tool to help you bring your game to the next level. So do yourself a favor, go check it out. And then also, because we love you, we got you a link, a little code, TGTshard20, which you can use for 20% off all of your subscriptions at checkout. Remember, TGT Shard20 at checkout for 20% off all of your subscriptions.
All right. And be sure and check out our merch. We got some hoodies and stuff out now for the cooler weather, some beanies and stuff that'll help you out too. And you get to support the show that much more when you wear that cool stuff. As a matter of fact, I think all of you guys are going to get some cool stuff to put on yourselves. Thanks for helping us out. So don't be surprised. With that in mind, thank you so much, everybody. And we'll see you guys next week on Whiskey, Magic, and Distraction on the Games Tavern on YouTube.